हरिः ओम्। नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य 54तमः पाठः। कर्तृर्थे शप्रत्ययस्य प्रयोगः कथं क्रियते अस्मिन् विषये अद्य विस्तारेण पठामः। प्रारम्भे वन्दनम्। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते। सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याः अस्य वर्गस्य प्रयोजनानि एकवारं पठामः। सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याः कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य सर्वेषां सूत्राणां विस्तारेण अध्ययनम्। यत्र आवश्यकं तत्र अन्येषां व्याख्यानानां साहाय्येन शास्त्राध्ययनम्। सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः यथा योग्यं कृत्प्रत्यययोजनम्। कृत्प्रत्यये परे रूपनिर्माणप्रक्रियायाः अभ्यासः। तथा च अष्टाध्याय्याः तृतीयाध्यायस्य कण्ठस्थीकरणम्। इदानीम् अस्माभिः कर्तृर्थे के प्रत्ययाः प्रयुज्यन्ते तस्य विस्तारेण अध्ययनं क्रियमाणम् अस्ति। तत्र द्वितीयं करपत्रं प्रामुख्येन स्मरणे स्थापनीयम्। प्रथमं करपत्रं तु कृत्याः इति, तत्र सर्वे कृत्यसंज्ञकप्रत्ययाः पाठ्यन्ते। अग्रिमं द्वितीयं करपत्रं तत्र णुलादयः प्रत्ययाः ये प्रामुख्येन कर्तुः निर्देशार्थं प्रयुज्यन्ते। कर्तरी कृत् इत्यनेन सर्वे कृत्प्रत्ययाः विशिष्टरूपेण निर्देशः न कृतः अस्ति चेत् कर्तृर्थे एव भवन्ति। अतः एते सर्वे प्रत्ययाः औत्सर्गिकरूपेण कर्तृर्थे एव विधीयन्ते। अनेके प्रत्ययाः अत्र उक्ताः सन्ति। एतेषु ण्वुल्, तृच्, ल्यू, णिनि, अच्, ण तथा क एते प्रत्ययाः पूर्वेषु वर्गेषु अस्माभिः अधीताः। अद्यतनवर्गे अग्रिमः प्रत्ययः श इति एकम् एव प्रत्ययं स्वीकृत्य तस्य विस्तारेण अध्ययनम् अद्यतनवर्गे भविष्यति। किञ्चित् प्रारम्भे पुनरावर्तनं कुर्मः। ण्वुल् तृचौ इति तत्र प्रथमं सूत्रं सर्वधातुभ्यः ण्वुल् तृचौ प्रत्ययौ भवतः इति अर्थः। तदनन्तरं नन्दिग्रहि पचादिभ्यो ल्युणिन्यचः आदिशब्दः प्रत्येकं सम्बध्यते। नन्द्यादिगणः, ग्रह्यादिगणः, पचादिगणः एतेभ्यः यथासङ्ख्यं ल्यूणिनि अच् एते प्रत्ययाः भवन्ति। अत्र नन्दिग्रहपचादयः धातुपाठतः न सन्निविष्टाः, अपि तु प्रातिपदिकगणेषु अपोधृत्य प्रकृतयः तत्र निर्दिष्टाः सन्ति इति अपि अस्माभिः अधीतम्। तदनन्तरम् अस्माभिः क तथा ण प्रत्ययोः विस्तारेण अध्ययनं कृतं। सूत्राणि क्रमेण अष्टाध्याय्याः क्रमेण पठामः। इगुपधज्ञा प्रीकिरक्कः, इगुपधः धातुः तथा च प्री धातुः, ज्ञा धातुः, कृ धातुः एतेषां सर्वेषां विषये क इति प्रत्ययः भवति। आतश्चोपसर्गे आकारान्तः धातुः अस्ति चेत् उपसर्गस्य उपस्थितौ क इति प्रत्ययः भवति। ज्वलितिकसन्तेभ्योऽणः, ज्वलादिगणः भ्वादिगणस्य अन्तर्गणः अस्ति, तस्य विषये ण इति प्रत्ययः विकल्पेन भवति। स्याद्व्यधादृसंस्रवति णवसा वव्रुलिह श्लिषश्वसश्च इत्यनेन शैन् धातु, आकारान्तः धातवः तथा च व्यध, आसृ, संसृ एते केचन अन्ये धातवः एतेषां सर्वेषां विषये ण इति प्रत्ययः विधीयते। एतत् सर्वं पूर्वेषु वर्गेषु अस्माभिः अधीतं। दुन्योरनुपसर्गे विभाषाग्रहः उभयत्र ण इति प्रत्ययः उच्यते। अन्ते गेहे कः इत्यत्र ग्रह उपादाने धातोः क प्रत्ययः विधीयते। क प्रत्ययस्य वर्गे एतत् सूत्रम् अस्माभिः अधीतम् अस्ति। तत्र गृहं तथा च तास्थ्याद् पत्नी इत्युक्ते दाराः, गृहाः इति शब्दद्वयं तत्र सिद्ध्यति। So let's go to the sheet. We have णुवुल्, तृच, ल्यू, णिनि, अच, क and ण। अद्यतनवर्गे अस्माभिः श प्रत्ययः त्रीणि सूत्राणि सन्ति। पाघ्राध्माधेदृशः अनुपसर्गा लिम्पविन्दधारि पारिवेद्युदेजि चेति साति साहिभ्यश्च ददाति दधात्योर्विभाषा। त्रीणि सूत्राणि तथा च केचन शास्त्रविषयाः सन्ति, केचन प्रक्रियाविषयाः सन्ति। एतेषां सर्वेषां विषये अद्यतनवर्गे अध्ययनं करिष्यामहे। प्रारभामहे। अत्र श प्रत्ययस्य कः विशेषः स्मर्तव्यः तर्हि केवलं विशिष्टाः धातवः एव सन्ति येषां विषये अयं श प्रत्ययः उक्तः अस्ति। पूर्वं क प्रत्ययः नो चेत् ण प्रत्ययः एतेषां विषये तत्र धातूनां गणाः आसन्। यथा इगुपदः धातवः, नो चेत् आकारान्ताः धातवः, नो चेत् ज्वलादिगणस्य धातवः इत्यत्र सर्वत्र धातूनां गणाः कृताः सन्ति। तेभ्यः क नो चेत् ण इति प्रत्ययः उच्यते। परन्तु अत्र श प्रत्ययस्य विषये तु केवलं विशिष्टाः धातवः त्रिषु अपि सूत्रेषु विशिष्टाः धातवः एव प्रोक्ताः सन्ति। यथा अत्र पा, घ्रा, धमा, धेट् तथा दृश पञ्च धातवः अत्र उच्यन्ते। सर्वेभ्यः श इति प्रत्ययः विधीयते। तदनन्तरम् अग्रिमं सूत्रम् अनुपसर्गात्। उपसर्गभिन्नाः धातवः अत्र उक्ताः सन्ति। लिम्प, विन्द, धारी, पारी, वेदी, उदेजी, चेति, साति, साहि एते सर्वे धातवः। अग्रे च ददाति, दधात्योर्विभाषा दा तथा धा एतौ द्वौ धातु अत्र उक्तौ स्तः। अतः अत्र सूत्राणाम् आधारेणैव झटिति सर्वेषां धातूनाम् अध्ययनं कृत्वा तत्र उदाहरणानि पश्यामः। तदनन्तरं किञ्चित् शास्त्रविषयं प्रक्रियाविषयं च विस्तारेण जानीमः। प्रथमं सूत्रं पाघ्राध्माधेट् धृशश्चः। अत्र उपरि मया अर्थः लिखितः अस्ति। तस्य प्रारम्भे पठनं कृत्वा तदनन्तरं काशिकां कौमुदीं च पठामः। पापाने इति भ्वादिगणस्य धातुः। पिबति, घ्रागन्धोपादाने टु स्मेल् जिघ्रति। धमा शब्दाग्निसंयोगयोः टु ब्लो भ्वादिः। धेट् पाने टु ड्रिङ्क्। दृशिर् प्रेक्षणे टु सी सर्वे भ्वादिगणस्यैव धातवः। एतेभ्यः सोपसर्गे अनुपसर्गे च श इति प्रत्ययः भवति। अत्र बाध्यबाधकभावः कथं विद्यते? पा धातुः, घ्रा धातुः, धमा धातुः एते त्रयः धातवः आकारान्ताः सन्ति। अतः एतेषां विषये उपसर्गस्य विषये क प्रत्ययः, उपसर्गभिन्नविषयेण प्रत्ययः इति पूर्वम् अस्माभिः दृष्टमस्ति। द्वौ अपि एतौ प्रत्ययौ बाधित्वा उभयत्र उपसर्गे अनुपसर्गे च श प्रत्ययः भवति। अतः पा धातोः विषये उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् क प्रत्ययस्य अपवादः, उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् ण प्रत्ययस्य अपवादः। एवमेव घ्रा तथा धमा एतयोः विषये अपि उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् कस्य बाधः, उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् णस्य बाधः। अग्रे अस्ति धेट् धातु। अस्य विषये तु अच इति औत्सर्गिकरूपेण यः प्रत्ययः विधीयते तस्य बाधः। दृश इति इगुपध धातुः अस्ति। इगुपधज्ञाप्रीकिरकः इत्यनेन तत्र क प्रत्ययः भवितुमर्हति, तस्य बाधः। अत आहत्य मिलित्वा कण अच एतेषां सर्वेषां बाधकरूपेण अत्र श प्रत्ययः विधीयते। अतः सामान्यरूपेण उच्यते कण अचां बाधकः। तत्र केवलं सामान्यं वाक्यं लिखितमस्ति। वस्तुतस्तु कुत्र कस्य बाधः, कुत्र णस्य बाधः, कुत्र अचः बाधः इति सर्वं विस्तारेण ज्ञेयं। परन्तु सामान्यरूपेण कण अचां बाधकः इति वक्तुं शक्नुमः। एतान् सर्वान् प्रत्ययान् बाधित्वा श इति प्रत्ययः भवति। सोपसर्गे अनुपसर्गे उभयत्र उपसर्गः भवेत् तदापि उपसर्गः नास्ति तत्रापि। कानि उदाहरणानि? पिबति इति पिबः। अत्र पश्यतु श इति प्रत्ययः सार्वधातुकप्रत्ययः अस्ति। If I'm not mistaken, the first sarvadhatuka pratyaya that we have come across since we started the detailed study of the pratyayas. So sh is a sarvadhatuka pratyaya. What is an important characteristic of sarvadhatuka pratyaya? Tatra gana vikaranam agacchati. Idagamah na bhavati, gana vikaranam agacchati. Atah tatra पा इत्यस्य अग्रे शप इति गणविकरणं विधीयते। सर्वे धातवः भ्वादिगणस्यैव धातवः, सर्वत्र शप इति विकरणप्रत्ययः। शप इति प्रत्ययः आगच्छति चेत् अग्रे किञ्चित् परिवर्तनं भवति। अस्माभिः पूर्वं दृष्टमस्ति विकरणप्रत्ययस्य अध्ययनसमये। अत्र विशेषरूपेण पाघ्राध्मास्थाम्ना इत्यनेन सूत्रेण पा इत्यस्य पिब, घ्रा इत्यस्य जिघ्र, ध्मा इत्यस्य धम, दृश इत्यस्य पश्य, एते सर्वे आदेशाः अत्र भवितुमर्हन्ति। पिबति इति पिबः। प्रक्रियां विस्तारेण अग्रे गत्वा पश्यामः। We will see the prakriya for all of these in details in the subsequent slides. जिघ्रति इति जिघ्रः, धमति इति धमः। सर्वत्र कर्तरार्थे प्रयोगः अस्ति। The one who drinks is called pibah. The one who smells is called jighraha. The one who blows is called dhamaha. The one who drinks is called dhayaha. The one who sees pashyati iti pashyaha. श प्रत्ययः सार्वधातुकः. Look at the beauty. The three pa, ghra, dhma, all these, and even the drusha, all these four dhatus are captured right in the same sutram. So pa becomes piba yatha sankham, ghra becomes jighra, dhma becomes dhama, and later on there is a drusha which becomes pashya. So the same four dhatus, identical prakriya, even the angakarya step is the same everywhere. The paghradhma sthamna sutram will be applicable in all these cases. श प्रत्ययस्य सार्वधातुकत्वात् प्रक्रियायाम् इत्यनेन सूत्रेण आदेशाः विधीयन्ते. सरलमेव सूत्रमस्ति. व्याख्यानं पश्यामः. काशिका वदति, पश्यतु, किञ्चित् भिन्नम् उक्तमस्ति काशिकायां. पा आदिभ्यः धातुभ्यः उपसर्गे उपपदे श प्रत्ययः भवति. काशिकाकारस्य मतेन किमस्ति? प्रामुख्येन अयं प्रत्ययः उपसर्गस्य उपस्थितौ एव स्यात्. This is the opinion of Kashika, not the Kaumudi. If you look at Kaumudi immediately next, it will give simple examples. Pibati iti pibaha, jighraha, dhamaha, dhayaha, and so on. So Kashika says that the general consensus, general opinion is that you get the pratyaya only for the upasarga upapada, only when the upasarga is present. But he says that that's not the unanimous conclusion. Upasarge iti kechit na anuvartayanti. केचन जनाः तत्र सर्वत्र श प्रत्ययः एव भवति इति पाठयन्ति इति वदन्ति इति मन्यन्ते. अपि च कौमुदिकारः, who comes much later in the timeline, he even doesn't talk about this distinction. He purely says that pibati iti pibaha jighraha dhama. So we assume he has done more research, obviously, and he believes that this upasarge upapade is just one paksha. The main paksha is upasarge as well as anupasarge. So काशिकाकारः पादेभ्यः धातुभ्यः उपसर्गे उपपदेश प्रत्ययः भवति. उत्पिब, विपिब, उज्जिघ्र, विजिघ्र, and so on. उपसर्गे इति केचित् न अनुवर्तयन्ति. पश्यति इति पश्यः. Similarly, पिबति इति पिबः, जिघ्रः, धमः, ध्वयः, and so on. Somebody is asking a question. Let me take this. Is the meaning of pashyaha same as the meaning of pashyati? This is there is a gray area over here actually. So when you say pashyati iti pashyaha, we are actually talking about the karta of that kriya. So when you say pashyati, we are referring to the kriya, the actual action, the action of seeing. Please understand, the verb is in the kartari prayoga. So when you say pashyati, an implied meaning over there is that Ramaha pashyati, Devadattaha pashyati, Krishnaha pashyati, and so on. However, in a very finer level, pashyati is a tinganta which stresses the bhava of the kriya, whereas pashya will actually stress the karta. But that's even much on the finer levels. It's okay to assume that pashyati, for all technical purposes, we say pashyaha is equivalent to pashyaha, and therefore it is okay to say pashyati iti pashyaha. That's why we say pashyati iti pashyaha. Another way to write the vritti over here is pashyati saha pashyaha. Ubhayatha vritti lekhanam sadhu eva asti. So for all practical purposes, the meaning of pashyati when it represents the karta is exactly same as pashyaha. There's a question, can you give an example in a statement? Yes, for example, Ramaha pashyati. So Ramaha pashyaha iti vaktum shaknumaha. So Ram is the seer, the one who sees is Ramaha, is a simple example. And somebody is asking, why can't we take pa rakshane over here? Vyakhyanato vishesha pratipatti nahi sandehada lakshanam. The Vyakhyanas say pa is basically piba. Therefore, we say pa is basically piba. A single dhatu can have multiple meanings, multiple occurrences in the dhatu patha. One can also conclude that ghradhma, dhet, drusha ityetesham sahacharyat pa iti piba ityeva bhavati. This is also one possible way to argue that dhama, ghra, dhet, and so on are all in the same sutra. By the sahacharya, we will take the same pa which occurs in that particular sutra. That's also one paksha that you can put forth. Pretty logical. This commentaries do argue in this particular manner. एकं वार्तिकं पश्यामः तदनन्तरम् अग्रे गच्छामः. जिघ्रतेः संज्ञायां प्रतिषेधो वक्तव्यः. किमुच्यते अत्र? There is a very peculiar, very well-known word called vyaghra. Vyaghra means a tiger. When we say vyaghra iti kachit samnya asti, vyaghra is a technical, is a well-known term specifically used to indicate a certain type of animal, a tiger. Now, in order to derive the word vyaghra, we require the original ka pratyaya on the ghra dhatu. Remember, ghra dhatu is akaranta dhatu. If there is an upasarga in front of an akaranta dhatu, then we get a ka pratyaya for that akaranta dhatu. By the sutra पाघ्राध्माधे दृशशः वस्तुतस्तु घ्रा धातोः श प्रत्ययः भवेत् उपसर्गे अनुपसर्गे उभयत्र, परन्तु व्याघ्र इति शब्दस्य सिद्ध्यर्थं तत्र क प्रत्ययः एव इष्यते. अतः एकं वार्तिकं कृतमस्ति, जिघ्रतेः संज्ञायां प्रतिषेधो वक्तव्यः. When you want to create a very well known word, a properly used word in the language called vyaghra, we will use the ka pratyaya for the ghra dhatu. So V plus A, उपसर्ग द्वयम् अस्ति, V plus A plus घ्रा plus क. आतो लोप इति च इति आकारस्य लोपः व्याघ्र इति तत्र अन्तिमं रूपं सिद्ध्यति. व्याजिघ्राति, the one who smells distinctly, the one whose sense of smell is highly elevated is called vyaghra. व्याजिघ्राति इति व्याघ्रः. तत्र क इति प्रत्ययः भवति. संज्ञायां प्रतिषेधः वक्तव्यः. So the Vartika is not giving the ka pratyaya, it is only blocking the sha pratyaya. By atashopasarge we will anyway get the ka pratyaya because of the fallback, because of the utsarga. So जिघ्रतेः संज्ञायां प्रतिषेधो वक्तव्यः. कौमुद्यामपि घ्र संज्ञायां न इत्युच्यते. व्याघ्रादिभिः उपमितं व्याघ्रादिभिः सामान्यवचनैः इति सूत्रमस्ति. तत्रापि व्याघ्र इति शब्दः पाणिनिना स्वयं प्रयुक्तः अस्ति. So this is the derivation of the word vyaghra. Now there is one comment in Kaumudi, we will take that and go ahead. So he is giving the sha pratyaya to all these dhatus. So pa becomes piba, this graha becomes jigra, this dhma becomes dhama, this dhet becomes dhaya. So far so good. And then he says, what would be the feminine form of dhaya? And he says dhaya kanya. So dhayaha balaha, dhayaha putraha, the one who drinks, that is a boy. The one who drinks in the feminine form, he simply adds a tapa pratyay over there, like aja becomes aja, dhaya becomes dhaya, dhaya kanya. So dhayaha and dhaya kanya. Looks good, looks innocent, but there is a problem here. What is the problem? Rewind all the way back to all the beginning of our course, 7th class. Remember in one of the sessions where we studied the purpose of the itsamyaka letters in the dhatus. I have switched the presentation on the screen. I have gone back to an older presentation number 7. So in that particular presentation, if you remember, and if you don't remember, please go back and watch. We studied the purpose of the itsamyaka letters in all the dhatus. Dhatushu vidyamananam itsamyaka varnanam prayojanam tasmin varge vistarena adhitam. तत्र किमस्माभिः पठितं यत्र धातौ टकारः itsamyakah asti. Only one dhatu in the entire dhatu patha which has a t at the end, which is itsamyaka. What is the prayojan of an itsamyaka takara? By the tidhane sutram striyam ni piti pratyayah bhavet. If a dhatu ends in the takara as an itsamyaka letter, then when you are constructing a feminine form, you should put a nipa pratyaya. The example over there was stanam dhaya, that's the masculine form, stanan dhayi, mushtim dhaya, mushtim dhayi. In this context, the question comes, how could you say dhaya kanya? You should say dhayi kanya. That's what exactly Kaumudikara explains ahead. Dhetaha titvat stanandhayi iti khashi iva neep praptaha. Khashi iva. Just like how you get a neep in the khash pratyaya. See the example. The example for the khash pratyaya. Again, I have switched the presentation. The example for the khash pratyaya. How do you get a neep? Just like that, in the current case also, in case of a sha pratyaya also, you should ideally get a nipa, but there is a statement written by Haradatta, who is the writer of Tattva Bodhini, one of the commentaries. He makes it clear that this particular sutram, this particular nip pratyaya is only for the khasha pratyaya, not other pratyayas. So dhet dhatoh vishaye खश प्रत्यये परे एव अस्य सूत्रस्य प्रसक्तिः अस्ति इति तत्त्वबोधिन्यां स्पष्टीकृतमस्ति. That's exactly what he is saying. धेटः टित्वात् स्तनन्धयि इति खशीवनीश् प्राप्तः खशः अन्यत्र न इष्यत इति हरदत्तः. Haradatta is Padamanjari. This is the Padamanjari reference. The one that we were talking earlier is the Tattvabodhini reference. Kaumudikara is giving a different reference over here, obviously, because Tattvabodhini came much later than Kaumudi. He is giving a reference of an already existing commentary, the commentary of Padamanjari. So khashah anyatra na ishyate iti haradatena spashtikrutamasti. So he says we ideally should get a neep, but Haradatta has explained it in his commentary that that particular neepa pratyaya is only applicable for the khasha pratyaya and nowhere else. Khashah anyatra na ishyata iti haradattena uktamasti ataha dhaya kanya iti bhavati iti atra ashayah. Agre last example also he gives pashyati iti pashyaha. So that's one sutra pagradmadhe drushashaha. Let's go to the next one, simple one, anupasargat. So basically the previous one was upasarga and anupasarga both. The current one is now anupasarga, anupasargat, and then comes the list of dhatus: limpa, vinda, dhari, pari, vedi, udeji, cheti, sati, sahibhyascha. So anupasargebhyah limpadibhyah sha pratyaya bhavati. This is Kashika. On the next slide we'll talk about Kaumudi. Anupasargebhyah limpadibhyah sha iti pratyaya bhavati. Limpati iti limpaha. So this is the dhatu of sixth gana, tudadi gana. Vindati iti vindaha. In both the cases, both these dhatus are from the tudadi gana. Sha iti gana vikaranam tatra agacchati. Agre prakriyam vistarena pathamaha. Dharayati iti dharayah. All these, the further ones, are the nich pratyayanta dhatus. That's why they are present in the sutra as rasva ikaranta dhatus. Look at this. Anupasargat, limpa and vinda are like familiar sounding, simple ones. All the ones that follow are nich pratyayanta dhatus. Dhari, pari, vedi, udeji, cheti, sati, sahi. All familiar dhatus. Dhru becomes dhari, saha becomes a sahi, and so on. The nich pratyay is added and the dhatu has been presented. So dharayati iti dharayaha, parayati parayaha, vedayati iti vedayaha, udejeti iti udejaha. Basically, list of dhatus is there. Here is the table. You can actually go through it on your own. There's nothing to explain. Lipa, limpati iti limpaha. I don't know why I wrote Churadi over here. In both these cases, this should be Tudadi. This is mistake. Limpatiti limpaha, vindatiti vindaha, dharayatiti dharayaha, parayati parayaha. There are dhatus. All these you can see are nich pratyayanta dhatus. The gana and so on are written over here. The vrittis is also written on the next side, second column. Let's take a look at Kaumudi Vyakhya. Shaha syat. So basically upasargaha yatra nasti tatra etesham sarvesham vishe sh pratyah bhavati. Kramena pashyamah limpa. So limpa dhatu, it gives you limpa. Let's confirm if this is from the sixth gana. I think lipa upadehe. This is from the sixth gana. If you go to this dhatu, it will cause limpati. Limpati. So shemuchadinamiti numagamaha tatra agacchati. So limpati. So it's from the sixth gana. Similarly, vinda is from the sixth gana. Limpa, vinda. Dharaya, paraya. So dhari becomes dharaya, pari becomes paraya, vedi becomes vedaya. By the way, on the dhatu part, I don't know if you have noticed or got a chance to notice, but now you have all the English meanings available. So it will be very easy for you to, like, if certain English meaning is not, certain meaning of dhatu is not clear, you can look at, particular English meaning, and it may be, easy to understand. Or you can also do a search with that English meaning. For example, you can just say to drink. Sorry, here. Or for example, you can just say to drink and it will show you. Yeah, it will show you basically the list of dhatus that you can use in that particular context. So you can explore that feature later on. I just added it a few hours ago. So sati, udejaya, chetaya, and so on. This sati dhatu, which is present over here, is a sautra dhatu. You don't find it in the dhatu patha. So he says sati sukharthaha, to get the pleasure or to give the pleasure, to make happy. Ityasmin arthe sati iti dhatuhu prayujyate. Sautraha hetumadnyantaha sataya iti tatra rupam bhavati. Vasarupa quip api bhavati. So there are many more pratyayas that will be used in the karatrarthe. We have only covered initial bunch. So he says the one that this sutra gives is sh, but then it will also give other pratyayas. Sunbul will anyway come, truch will anyway come. In the same way, uh, this quip will also come. It's a pratyaya that we will study, I think, in 3.3 or 3.2 somewhere. So vasarupanyayena quip iti kashana anyaha pratyaya api bhavati sat paramatma. So he's explaining that because there is a well-known adjective called sat, which is used to indicate the paramatman, and this sat adjectives is derived from the same dhatu sati. So he is referencing that over here. There is no context. I mean, there is no need to talk about that over here. But he's saying that this is a dhatu sati, which is the dhatu. It's a rich pratyayamta dhatu. It is a sautra. It is not present in the dhatu patha. And just like here, you are getting a sha pratyaya over here. You can also get a quip pratyaya by a sutra that is that will come later on. And because Vasarupa Nyaya, Vasarupa Vidhi operates, so Vasarupa Nyayena quip iti pratyaya api bhavati sat paramatma iti sat shabdaha jayate. So satvantaha bhaktaha. So the one uh, say the one who pray to the Paramatma, they are bhaktaha. So he's basically giving examples of usage of this particular word. He's trying to stress the fact that even if this dhatu is the sautra dhatu, it's not an imaginary one. You can see the usage in the lokas. So even if this dhatu is not in the dhatu patha, it is in the sutra, still it is a well-known dhatu, and you have prayogas like sat paramatma, satvantaha bhakta, and so on. And then the next one, sahibhyasha shahamarshane churadhi tasmat hetumat nyantaha. So this is either you can take the dhatu from the churadi gana or you can take it from the bhadi gana and add a rich pratyaya on the top of it. All this is anupasargat. Anupasargat iti kim pralipaha lip iti dhatuः अस्ति तत्र उपसर्गः आगच्छति चेत् इगुपधज्ञा प्रीकिरका इत्यनेन क प्रत्ययः एव भवति. So then you don't get numagama and all that, because that numagama sutra is a shemuchadinam. It will only give a numagama for a sha pratyaya. You see that in the prakriya a little later in the class. Otherwise, for ka pratyaya, it will be just pra plus lipa plus ka, because that upasarga is there. This particular sutra is applicable only for anupasargat. Then a couple of more vartikas. Nau limper vachaha. सो अनुपसर्गात् इति उक्तमस्ति, तथापि नी इति उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् अस्य प्रत्ययस्य प्रयोगः भवितुमर्हति. सो नौ लिम्पेः वाच्यः निलिम्पाः देवाः. A group of gods is called nilimpaha. So that word is being derived over here. Nilimpaha devaha. Gavadishuhu videhe samnyayam. Agrimam vartikam. See, all these vartikas, whatever we saw earlier, the Vyaghra related one, or Nau limper vachaha, or Gavadishu videhe samnyayam, all these are used to derive very well known words. So nilimpa is a known word, a used word, so it has been derived by giving a vartika Nau limper vachaha. कः अर्थः? यद्यपि उपसर्गस्य उपस्थितौ अस्य सूत्रस्य प्रसक्तिः नास्ति, तथापि नि इति उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् लिम्प इति धातोः विषयस्य सूत्रस्य प्रसक्तिः स्यादेव. अग्रिमं गवादिषु विदेहे संज्ञायां गौ इति उपसर्गः तत्र उपपदं तत्र अस्ति चेत् विद धातोः विषये अस्य सूत्रस्य प्रसक्तिः स्यात्. गौः इत्युक्ते उपनिषद्, सर्वोपनिषदो गावः इति उच्यते. सो गौ, one meaning of the word gau is upanishad. So upanishadah janati, the one who knows the entire essence of the upanishad is the govinda. Gaha vindati iti govindaha. One meaning, or if you take the verbatim meaning, gaha is cows, the one who has cows or gets cows or looks after cows, that will also be called govindaha. सो गवादिषु विदेहे संज्ञायां विद धातुः अस्ति. वस्तुतस्तु अनुपसर्गात् अनुपपदम, because whole this section is about having pratyas without the upapadam. So somebody is actually asking, is upapadam allowed over here? In general, no, because this entire section, the second section, as I mentioned, and the first section, the krutyaha, and the second sheet, nuvuladayah, both of them are without upapada unless otherwise indicated. The general rule is without upapada. Starting from the third sheet, anadayaha, upapada starts coming in the picture. So karmani, it starts with the कर्मणि, the कर्मणि upapadam iti atra asmin eva sutre uchyate. So that's the reason we have made these 12 sheets, that we are stepping into the details one by one. Till now, unless otherwise indicated, there was no upapada, but here he says gavadishu videhe samnyayam upasankhyanam ityukte gauhu iti atra upapadam asti chet vida iti dhatoh sh pratyah bhavati. And Gavadishu. So that's basically Gauhu and a few others. He doesn't specify a list in details. There is not even a Gana in the Gana Patha for that. But he basically gives another example. So we just have two examples at hand right now. Aravindam. Ara is a spoke. So this is the name of a lotus flower or a flower whose petals are arranged like the spokes of a wheel. So Aravindam, Govindaha. Basically, well-known words are being derived over here. Aran vindati iti aravindam, tatha cha gaha vindati iti govindaha are the vrittis. I have given the Bala Manorama commentary for those who would like to go in the details. I'll just take, I think there are one or two questions. I'll just take them and go ahead. Kati dhatavah sautraha santi. Is there any list and the list of sutras available? I don't have a ready-made list. I can prepare it at some point in time. Approximately there are 50 maybe plus or minus 10, 20 dhatus that are there in the sutra patha. So what is a sautra dhatu? Kevalam sutra pathe vidyate. Dhatu pathe na vidyate. Yatha va stambhu, stumbhu, skambhu, skumbhu, skumbhyashnuscha. So stambhu, stumbhu, skambhu, skumbhu, or riteri, young, rita dhatu. All these we don't get in the dhatu patha. They are in the sutra patha, so we call that sautra dhatu. On the website, I have actually included these dhatus for our convenience. So if you say stambha, this one avarodhane, this is from the Kryadi Gana. I have included it, and I think stambus, tumbus. I think there was a note or something. Let's see, ruteri young, rita dhatu is there. This one, I think. So there are most of these cases you have this note over here, ayam dhatu dhatu pathe na vidyate apitu sautraha dhatu asti. So if I am not mistaken, most of the sautra dhatus are already included in the dhatu patha on the website with this particular note, ayam dhatu na vidyate dhatu pathe na vidyate sautra asti. I'll quickly scan the list and find out if I can collect them all the way in some filter or something, just for academic interest. I don't see there is any practical use of filtering out all the sautra dhatus separately from other. Just for academic interest, it should be, if it's easy, I'll just do it at some point in time. Okay, so yeah, there is one question that I already answered. Is the upapadam allowed in all these sutras? Let me repeat it because it is important. No, unless the sutra explicitly tells you upapadam is not allowed, because we are yet to enter the territory of the upapadams in the third section. There is another question. Are these Sautra dhatus found in literature? Oh yeah, of course, a lot. That's probably the reason why they are still there. I mean, Panini thought of creating the special sutras for this dhatu purely because I think they were used somewhere or the other. Now, are they found in the literature that's available today? My guess would be yes, but one needs to do detailed research on it. Were they used at the time when the Acharya wrote Ashtadhyayi? Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, there's no question about it. And in Paspashanika Bhasha, like 2 days ago, I was explaining this to somebody. In Paspashanika, Bhashakara actually says that it's very risky to say that something that you have not seen used is not actually used. So there are like Saptadvipa and so on. There are so multiple geographical locations are there where all these things can be used. So tatra yatnah kriyatam iti saha vadati. So if you don't have seen the usages, go and find more, like dig up more to find the usages. Just saying that these are not used uh, is not something. It's very risky. We shouldn't be doing that. Okay, Agrimam Sutram, the last one. So we had Anupasarga Limpavindadhari Parivedyudeji Cheti Sati Sahibhyashcha. The Agrimam Dadati Dadhatyor Vibhasha. Very beautiful sutram. Dadati Dadhatyor Vibhasha. Two dhatus, Da dhatu, very well known. Juhotyadi Ganasya dhatu dvayam, Da dhatu and Dha dhatu. Dudai Dane, Tathacha Dudhai Dharada Poshana Yoho. To nurture, to nourish, to take responsibility, bring up, and so on. In case of these dhatus, etabhyam anupasargabhyam, that anupasargabhyam comes from anupasargat limbavinda. Etabhyam anupasargabhyam vibhasha vikalpena sha iti pratyaya bhavati. Again, understand this. Da dhatu without the upasarga and dha dhatu without the upasarga, both of them are akaramta dhatus. By shad vyadha snavati, you'll get ana pratyaya by default. Optionally blocking that ana pratyaya is the sha pratyaya. So dudai dane तथा च दूधाय धारण पोषणयोः एताभ्याम अनुपसर्गाभ्याम विकल्पेन श प्रत्ययः भवति. श प्रत्यये परे the prakriya will happen. We will see that most of you already know it. जुहोत्यादिभ्यः श्लुः इत्यनेन शप इत्यस्य लोपः भवति. Tadanantaram dvitvam abhyasa karyam and so on. We'll see the prakriya later on. This is only optionally. Pakshe shad vyadha srusravati navasa vavru liha shlisha shvasascha. So there is sh and at. There is a over there. That is for the akaranta dhatus. It will give a na pratyaya. So shad vyadha sru ityanina na iti pratyaya api atra bhavati. So he gives examples. Dadati iti. We're talking about the karta. Dadati iti dadaha. Dayaha. The is the sha pratyanta form. Da plus sha. This is the sarvadhatuka pratyaya. So shap will come. Shap will undergo a shlu, causing a dvitva and abhyasa karya. Prakriya will be shown on the next slide. The final form will be the. So that's the sha pratyanta form. The next is the na pratyanta form, which we have seen in the previous class. Da plus na. Ato yukchin krutoho will give you a yugagama daya. Similarly, dadhati iti dadhaha dhayaha. Etat sarvam अनुपसर्गाभ्याम उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् किं भवति आतश्चोपसर्गे इति क प्रत्ययः भवति तत्र कोऽपि अपवादः नास्ति सो प्रददाति इति प्रदः we have seen this very example in that particular class प्र प्लस दा प्लस क प्रत्ययः भवति आतो लोप इति च इति ककारस्य आकारस्य लोपः प्र प्लस द प्लस अ प्रद इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति. So three forms you have dadaha, you have dayaha, and you have pradaha. This dadaha, I don't know if you remember, but there was one ekakshara shloka from Shishupala Vadha which we learned in one of the homeworks many months ago. Dadado dadi dadadi dudadi dadoho. So in that particular context, I think we have discussed this particular dadaha word somewhere. Let's see the commentary. The original one was basically my explanation. Let's actually go to the commentaries. Dayaha dhayahascha vibhasha sh pratyah bhavati णस्य अपवादः ददहा दायहा दधहा धायः अनुपसर्गादित्येव प्रदः प्रधः क प्रत्ययं कृत्वा उपसर्गस्य उपस्थितौ रूपं सिद्ध्यति. कौमुदी शः स्यात् ददहा दधः पक्षे वक्ष्यमाणः णः अग्रे उच्यते वक्ष्यमाणः इत्युक्ते अग्रे वदति सः अग्रे पाणिनिः अग्रे वक्षति इति अत्र अर्थः अस्ति. Why? Because that shad vyadhadru is 31141. We are still in 31139. Even in the Kaumudi sequence, we have not yet come across this shad vyadhasru. So he says pakshe agre yaha uchyate vakshate saha ण प्रत्ययः एतत्तु अनुपसर्गादेव सूत्रम प्रदः प्रधः. So three different pratyayas. You have the optional. So this sutra optionally gives a sh. As a second choice, you get an a, and when there is an upasarga, you anyway get a k. So three different pratyayas under three circumstances. So that actually completes three sutras. Pagradmadhedrishashah अनुपसर्गाद् लिम्पविन्तधारि पारिवेद्यदेजि चेति साति साहिभ्यश्च ददाति दधात्योर विभाषा. इदानीम् अग्रे अस्य सूत्रस्य ददाति दधात्योः विभाषा अस्य सूत्रस्य विषये कश्चन शास्त्रविस्तारः अस्ति. तस्मिन् विषये किञ्चित् चिन्तनं कुर्मः. तदनन्तरं च प्रक्रियायाः अध्ययनं कृत्वा वर्गं समापयामः. We'll discuss the few shastra related aspects. Only 2 slides are there. 2 important shastra related aspects for this particular sutram dadati dadhatyoho vibhasha. Then we will see the prakriya for all the existing various dhatus, and then that's all for today. Prarabhamahi. The first question that we want to understand is, or the claim that is made over there, the objection that is made over there is that this sutram is completely useless. Dadati dadhatyoho vibhasha iti sutram sampurna rupena anavashakam. That's the objection on this sutra. That's the first thing we want to understand. Dadati dadhatyoho vibhasha iti sutram sampurna rupena anavashakam. किमर्थम अनावश्यकम पठामः. There is a dad dane dhatu and there is a dadh dharane. They are already there in bhwadi gana, exactly same meaning. So instead of da dane from juhotyadi gana, there is a dhatu called dad dane in the bhwadi gana. This one 1.17 dad dane in the bhwadi gana, same meaning to give dane iti arthah asti. Dadh, and the second one dadh dharane, again 1.8 at all the way at the beginning of bhadigana this dhatu is there, dadh dharane. So dada and dadha both dhatus are there in the bhadigana. What we have learned, sarva dhatubhyah ach vidhi, so all dhatus will get ach pratyaya. So let's add ach pratyaya to dada and dadha. Sarva dhatubhyah ach vidhi iti nyayena ach pratyayah iti yada etabhyam kriyate tada dada plus ach dada, dadha plus ach dadha. So simple. On the previous slide, look at this, dada and dadha. Why you want to add a sh pratyaya and then shapa and then juhotyadibhya shlu and then dvitva and abhyas karyam? Who has told all this circus? Gauravaha kimartham kevalam ach pratyaya kriyate chet Same meaning, dadha iti shabdau siddhyatah, dadati. See the prathama purusha ekvachan of this dhatu will be dadati. Same meaning as dadati or yachati. So dadati iti dadaha. Similarly, dadhati, the prathama purusha ekvachan of this will be dadhati. Dadhati. Same meaning as dadhati or dharayati iti dadhaha. अनेन प्रकारेण दद तथा दध एतयोः शब्दयोः सिद्धिः अवश्यं भवति ददाति दधात्योर्विभाषाः इति सूत्रम् अनावश्यकम् इति आक्षेपः. Very beautiful and perfectly logical argument. And as it always happens, the answer to this particular question, the reply to this particular question is that dadati dadhatyor vibhasha sutram is still required because there is a minor swara difference. Understand this and see the, the sukshmekshika, the keen eye of the given to the details by the sutrakara, by Panini. So even if you can generate dada and dadha by this simple process, still he decides to give a dadati dadhapti or vibhasha to generate a dada and a dadha by a complex process, because in that process somewhere some swara is going to change, and that really matters in the pronunciation. So I will explain. We will not go in the details of the swara prakaranam, but I'll just explain what type of swara sanchara is happening. Let's actually read the yellow highlighted lines first, and then we'll read the whole explanation. So he says that the problem comes when you start doing the nay samasa. Yatra yatra samasah kriyate tatra samasasya udatta anudatta swarita swara nirdeshartham bhinnani sutrani santi. Entire 6.3, 6.2, not 6.3, 6.2 is for all the swaras of various samasas. So he says, if you decide to do the nay samasa, then swara will differ depending on whether you start with an acha pratyaya or whether you start with a sha pratyaya. So he says nay plus dada plus acha. This will give a dada. Obviously, I mean, because dada plus acha gives dada. If you add a nay samasa to it, it will give a dada. Now this a dada is antodatta. The last swara of this a dada is udatta, is in the high pitch. Adada iti shabdaha antodattah asti. But nay plus da plus sha ityanena praptaha adada iti shabdaha adyudattah asti. The first swara becomes udatta. Now somebody might ask, what is the problem? I mean, the first swara is udatta versus the last swara is udatta. We have to understand in that the frame of reference where of the acharya's times where the pronunciation really matters. And right in the previous class, we discussed the example of Indra Shatruhu, and we learned that the pronunciation of this word specifically while talking about Vedas or mantras matters extensively. So when you pronounce the, whether the last letter becomes udatta or whether the first letter becomes udatta really matters. And the conflict is at two different letters, but that's okay, because as soon as the last letter becomes udatta, the other letters become anudatta, because there is something called the I think shesha vivaksha, where the you can have only one udatta swara and all most of the others will become anudattam padameka varjam iti sutramasti. So basically one swara will affect the other swaras in that particular word. So the word which is generated because of acha pratyaya has a different udatta swara, and the generated because of the sha pratyaya has a different udatta swara. That is the reason why we need this separate sutra. Mahati sukshmekshika vartate sutrakarasya is what I think Kashika is praising Sutrakara at some, not this sutra, at some other sutra. And this is a classic example. Look at the how fine details have been encoded in Sutra Patha. So Tattvabodhini says in the same sutra, the dane dadadharane abhyam achi ach pratye krute dadaha dadhaha iti siddham dadhabhyam adanta lakshanena pratye dayaha dhayaha. So he says, go back to the previous slide. The two questions, the two things were dada and daya. These two forms we want to derive. Daya will anyway be derived by no pratyaya, which is shad vyadhadru. And this dada can be derived by the acha pratyaya for the dada and the dadha dhatu. So he says dadadane dadadharane abhyam. For these two dhatus, you can get the dadha and dadha final words because of ach pratyaya abhyam achi. From these two dhatus, because of the ach pratyaya, you can get the required forms. And daya and dhaya are still there because of the na pratyaya. Tataha chedidam sutram vyartham iti chet satyam. Yes, this sutra is useless if you don't want to think about the swaras. But if you want to think about the swaras, swararthamidam sutram. So you decide whether you want to think about the swaras or whether you want to ignore the swara knowledge. If you want to ignore the swara knowledge, it's okay. You can just get rid of this sutram. Not really. We'll see on the next slide another very interesting aspect of this. Pararthamidam sutram adadaha adadaha ityatra ihahi avyaya purva pada prakrute swara ishyate. So he's explaining that there is a separate swara in this particular case. This particular case, there is a separate swara will come up. Ajam tatve for the ach pratyaya achkava shaktau. He's referencing a sutram. Achkava shaktau iti sutrena anto dattatvam syat. So he's explaining the difference. We'll not go in the details of this achkava shakta or tatpurushe tulyartha tritiya saptam yupamana vyadvitiya krityaha. Both of them are basically dealing with the swaras. If you're interested, you can take a look at it later on. Not part of, we don't need to know all these in the course syllabus. At least it's okay. It's sufficient to know that one thing will give an antodatta swara, other thing will give an adyudatta swara. Somebody is asking, will the meaning differ? No, the meaning does not differ in this particular case, but the effect might differ. Like the pronunciation, only one point of pronunciation is the meaning, but it can also, result in certain vibrations, certain effect, which might completely differ. I know I'm probably talking completely in air, but my knowledge doesn't go anywhere, beyond zero when it comes to Swara Prakaranam, unfortunately. So I have to rely on what the commentaries say, and this is what the commentaries say in this particular context. Okay, agre gacchamaha. So that's basically the need of the sutram dadati dadhatyoho vibhasha. Then there is a very interesting aspect that is discussed in the commentaries. Uh, he says, why do you need the vibhasha word in this particular sutram? What would happen if the word vibhasha is not there? Just say dadati dadhatyoho. And it's very simple. I mean, you anyway get the sha pratyaya because of dadati dadhatyoho. Don't say vibhasha. Just say dadati dadhatyoho. Dadati dadhatyoho iti vadamaschet tatra sha pratyaya bhavati. This sutra itself is giving sha pratyaya. And there is already another sutra called shad vyadhadru. So you can get an pratyaya. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, you can always get a sha pratyaya and an pratyaya. Both the pratyayas are possible. Even if you say dadati dadhatyoho alone without vibhasha, you can get the sha pratyaya. And because shad vyadhadru, there is an akaranta dhatu already getting a pratyaya. So you get a pratyaya. So this is what one student asks. Why do you say vibhasha? And the second student says, you probably have not studied Utsarga Apavada. Here, Shad Vyadhadru is giving an Utsarga and Dadati Dadhatyoho, the Ka Pratyay. If you don't have the Vibhasha over here, the Sha Pratyay, not Ka, the Sha Pratyay that you will get is an Apavada, and the Apavada will compulsorily block the Utsarga. So he says, how do you know Apavada will come? So this is what the second student says. And then the first one replies, how do you know there is an already, why will it completely block? Is what the first student asks. The second student replies by giving the answer of Vasarupa Vidhihi. He says that the Sha Pratyaya and the Na Pratyaya both are just the A Pratyaya internally, and because of the Vasarupa Vidhi, one Pratyaya will actually block another. By Vasarupo Striyam, one Pratyaya will block another. Understand this argument. Let me repeat this. This is very significant. The first student, let's repeat this for those whom I lost at some point. So the first student says that why do you have a vibhasha in this particular sutram? The second student says so that we can have the sha and the na both. The first student argues that's okay. Even if you don't have vibhasha, you can still have a sh pratyaya by this sutra, and you can still have an a pratyaya because of shad, vyadhas, rusravati, and so on. And then the first student or the second student argues back, saying that no, that will not happen because the sh pratyaya in dadati dadatyoho will result in a compulsory blockage of the ण प्रत्यय. श प्रत्ययेन ण प्रत्ययस्य संपूर्ण रूपेण बाधः स्यात्. So he says, how do you know sampurna rupena badha syat? And the answer is sh and na both are internally. And by Vasarupa Vidhi, these are Sarupa Pratyayas, and therefore one will block another. This is not a case like sh versus Ranavula or sh versus Trucha. This is a case of sh versus na. Both of them are internally, and therefore there is a Vasarupa Vidhi acting. One will compulsory block another, or Vasarupa Vidhi not acting because Va is there in that sutra. One will completely block another. And then after the first student explains this, the second student asks $1 million question over here. He says, how do you know that the two pratyas are to be considered sarupa only after the itsamyaka letters have to be removed? So the second student is saying, I don't agree with what you're saying. According to me, sh and na are both already a sarupa, because you can hear sh, shakara is there, and you can hear na, nakara is there. So both of them are anyway a sarupa. And therefore, by vasarupa vidhi, even if you say dadati dadhatyoho, the sh pratyaya which is being given over here will only partially block the na pratyaya. Understand this. The second student, the Purva Paksha basically, first or second, whatever. The Purva Paksha is arguing that sh and na are actually asarupa pratyayas because Panini does not define the word sarupa anywhere in Ashtadhyayi. You have your teachers teaching you that first remove the itsamyaka letters and then look at the pratyaya as being sarupa or asarupa. Maybe your teachers are wrong. Maybe they have learned everything incorrectly. Where is Panini telling us that two pratyayas are to be considered sarupa or asarupa only after removing its samyaka letters? Panini never tells us that, and therefore I am free to believe that sh and na are asarupa, is what the Purva Paksha is saying. And the answer on that the Uttar Paksha gives, the Siddhanta Paksha gives, is that the word vibhasha in this sutra is itself an indication that Panini wants to tell us that itsamyaka letters have to be removed first and then the sarupyatva has to be determined. Because if according to you what you said, like you are free to do the sarupa asarupa analysis without removing the itsamyaka letters, then sh and na will anyway be asarupa, and therefore just the sutra dadati dadhatyoho would be still sufficient. But the fact that vibhasha word is added over here indicates that Panini knows that simply dadati dadhatyoho is not sufficient. Why it is not sufficient? Because if you simply say dadati dadhatyoho, then sh will compulsorily block na. Why will sh compulsorily block na? Because sh and na are sarupa. There is no other explanation. And why are sh and na sarupa? Because its samyaka letter does not play a role in determining the sarupya. So, presence of the word vibhasha in the sutra is an indicator that first its samyaka letters have to be removed and then sarupya has to be determined. So understand this. Dvayoho pratyayoho sarupyasya nirnayah itsamyaka varnanan lopad anantarameva kriyate. This particular siddhanta, there is no direct sutra in Ashtadhyayi that will tell that siddhanta, but this particular siddhanta, dadati dadhatyoho vibhasha iti sutre vibhasha grahanena spashti bhavati. The presence of the word vibhasha is a jnapaka that the sarupya nirnay must be done after the itsamya removal. Why? Let's understand. I have already explained this, but let's understand it in the formal language. यदि सारूप्य निर्णयः इत्सम्यक लोपा वर्णानां लोपात् पूर्वमेव इष्यते तर्हि श तथा ण प्रत्ययौ असरूपौ स्याताम्. if you want to decide the sarupyatva before its samyaka letters go away, then sh and na are anyway asarupa. Asyam stitau dadati dadhaptyoho iti sutram paryaptam. Why? Because anyway vasarupa vidhi will kick in. So sh is being given by dadati dadhatyoho. Na will also come by vasarupa vidhi. Anena sutrena दाधा धातवोः श प्रत्यये कृते वासरूप विधिना पुनः असरूपः ण प्रत्ययः भवेदेव. So Panini teaches Vasarupa Vidhi, but he doesn't teach what exactly Sarupa means, but he adds a hint in Dadati Dadhatyoho Vibhasha, which is a Jnapaka that Sarupa means two pratyayas which look identical after its Samyaka letter is removed. Let's read this without interruption. यदि सारूप्य निर्णयः इत्संज्ञकवर्णानां लोपात् पूर्वमिष्यते तर्हि श तथा ण प्रत्ययो असरूपौ स्याताम्. अस्यां स्थितौ ददाति ददात्योः इत्येव सूत्रं पर्याप्तम्. यतः अनेन सूत्रेण दाधा धातवोः श प्रत्यये कृते वासरूपविधिना पुनः असरूपः ण प्रत्ययः भवेत् एव. परन्तु तथापि पाणिनिना अस्मिन् सूत्रे विभाषा इति पदं स्थापितमस्ति. एतत् पदम् एव ज्ञापकं यत् द्वयोः प्रत्ययोः सारूप्यस्य निर्णयः इत्सम्यकवर्णानां लोपात् अनन्तरम् एव करणीयः. श ण इत्येतयोः इत्संज्ञा लोपे कृते अ इति अवशिष्यते. एतौ सरूपप्रत्ययौ अस्यां स्थितौ दाधा धातवोः विहितः श प्रत्ययः वासरूपविधिना ण प्रत्ययस्य नित्यं बाधकः भवति. ततः पुनः ण प्रत्ययस्य विधानं कर्तुम् अस्मिन् सूत्रे विभाषाग्रहणं चरितार्थत्वं प्राप्नोति. becomes useful, चरितार्थत्वं प्राप्नोति. And this exact observation is captured by Nagesha in Paribhashendu Shekhara. He says, Nanu evamapi vasarupa sutrena ka vishaye anaha apatti. He says, even if there is a vasarupa vidhi, maybe ka and ana can conflict. Can ka and ana conflict? ननु वासरूप न एवमपि वासरूपसूत्रेण क विषये अणः आपत्तित्यत्राह नानुबन्धकृतम् असारूप्यम्. So this particular vibhasha grahanam is the basis of the eighth paribhasha in the Paribhashendu Shekhara called Nanubandhakrutam Asarupyam. We have studied this paribhasha long ago in the course. I'm just now telling you that the current sutra is a jnapaka of this particular sutram, this particular paribhasha. ददाति दधात्योः विभाषा इति न बाधकस्य विकल्प विधायकम् अस्यां ज्ञापकं तेन गोद इत्यादौ न अण इति वासरूप सूत्रे भाष्ये स्पष्टम् इति परिभाषेन्दु शेखरे नागेशः. So there is a homework question on this which will help you to go over this logic once again. Very important point. Please make a mental note of this, that dadati dadhatyoho vibhasha, the word vibhasha in this sutra is the indicator that vasarupa, the sarupatva has to be the conclusion of sarupatva, the nirnaya of sarupya has to be done after the itsamnya letters are removed. We studied this particular thing as an axiom. So I taught it earlier and we just assumed it and we went ahead, but we had to certify that at some point in time, and this is where we actually certified that even though Panini does not say that the two pratyayas, when they will be sarupa and when they will be asarupa, he adds the word vibhasha over there. Nagesha beautifully captures this, or Bhashyakara beautifully captures this and says that this vibhasha word is an enough indication that the two pratyayas must be considered sarupa or asarupa only after its samyaka letters are removed. Okay, so I think these two were the shastra related aspects. Let's go to some 3-4 slides for prakriya are there, and then we will stop. There is this question which says why sometimes va is used, sometimes vibhasha is used. That's a very interesting question. So actually in Ashtadhyayi you see 3 different words that are used to indicate option. Sometimes there is va, sometimes there is vibhasha, there is sometimes there is anyatarasyam, sometimes you also use this anyatarasyam. Now there is a group of scholars, Paksha, there is one stream of thought which says that these words Panini just uses interchangeably, and why does he use it? It's his style. Sometimes he wants to use va, sometimes he wants to use anyatarasam and all that. And what about the Gaurava Laghava? I mean, we say ardhamatra laghavena. So we say samanarthaka shabdaha yatra prayojyate tatra Gaurava Laghava charcha nadriyate. So you don't talk about Gauravatva Laghavatva when it's about similar words or it's about synonyms being used. So sometimes he uses anyatarasam, sometimes he uses va. That doesn't count towards Gaurava Laghava because समानार्थकाः एव ते ते शब्दाः सन्ति. This is a general opinion. However, one of the recent scholars, I think I have a research paper from that person. If I find it, I'll send it on the group. So he has done some extensive research on all the sutras of Vibhasha versus Va versus Anyatarasyam, and he has come up with some logical argument on where Panini uses Va and what does it mean, and where Panini uses Vibhasha and what does it mean, and where he uses Anyatarasyam and what does it mean. So according to one of the recent, I mean, he's probably even very recent in the sense, probably alive right now also. I don't remember the name. I have vaguely read the paper many years ago, like at least 4 or 5 years ago. I'll send it if I find it on the group. He actually shows that there is a particular prayojan of Vibhasha versus particular prayojan of Anyatarasyam versus particular prayojan of Va. But I don't know whether that Siddhanta has been universally accepted or it is just a paper that was published and so on. So that's the question. If we stick to saying that Bhashya or say Nagesha or say Kaumudi is our ultimate pramana, if we say and stop there, then these words are we can, at least at this particular stage, we can say that these words are being used interchangeably, and we don't talk about the Gaurava Laghava Charcha in this context. Please tell the meaning of Charitartha once again. Charitartha means becomes useful. It does not become useless. The argument was Vibhasha word is useless. I purposely use this word because these are the kind of words that you will see again and again in commentaries. So I could have written this in simple Sanskrit by saying punaha na pratyasya vidhanam kartum vibhasha grahanam asmin sutre krutam asti tasya prayojanam asti and so on. You don't see these words in the commentary. You see words like charitarthatvam or you see words like itidik and so on. So these are certain words. We should know the meanings of this so that understanding commentaries will be easier. So charitartha means becomes useless, sorry, becomes useful, finds an application. विभाषा ग्रहणम अस्मिन् सूत्रे चरितार्थत्वं प्राप्नोति इत्यस्य अर्थः अस्य विभाषा ग्रहणस्य प्रयोजनम अस्मिन् सूत्रे अस्माभिः दृश्यते इति अर्थः. Okay, अग्रे गच्छामः. Now we have prakriya aspects. So let's talk about some specific aspects of the sha pratyaya and then go to the prakriya. Sha pratyaya, probably the first sarvadhatuka pratyaya that we have come across, if I am not mistaken, in the second part of the course. So sha pratyaya sarvadhatuka pratyaya karatrarthe prayujyate अस्मिन् प्रत्यय परे नित्यम गण विकर्ण प्रत्यय विधीयते. This is very important, this particular part, because there is another sha pratyaya in the krudanta prakaranam which is used in the bhavarthe kriyasya cha. So this sha pratyaya is sarvadhatuka number 1 and it is used in the kartrartha, therefore gana vikarana pratyaya comes. If it gets used in the karmartha or if it gets used in the bhavartha, you don't get gana vikarana, you get sarvadhatuke yaka, you will get yak pratyaya over there. But this sha pratyaya is sarvadhatuka, it is used in the kartrartha, therefore atra gana vikarana pratyaya agacchati, shap, chan, sha and so on. Rinich is not a gana vikarana. Remember this. Rinich comes all the way in the beginning step of the flow chart as a swarthika pratyaya. So even on the top of Rinich, there will be shapa as the gana vikarana pratyaya. So we have a shapa and mainly we have sh. I think only these two are there in this particular set of sutras that we studied today. And then the shapa undergoes a shlu for the juhotyadi gana. So gana vikarana pratyaya bhavati tad vishishtam karyam. So as soon as gana vikarana pratyaya comes, other karya pagradma and so on can happen. Ayam pratyaya apit asti. सार्वधातुकः अस्ति अपित् अस्ति सार्वधातुकम् अपित इत्यनेन ङित्वत् भवति ङित्वत् bhavasya vishishtani karyani api atra bhavitum arhanti. So two important things to remember. This is the sarvadhatuka pratyaya, so we get a gana vikarana, and this is the apit pratyaya. So if needed, then there will be gintvad bhava karyani that will happen. Let's see the prakriya. पाघ्राध्माधेदृशः इत्यत्र पा धातोः pa pane, you get a sh pratyaya. This is the paghradmadhedrushah. First the sh pratyaya, the karatrath sh pratyaya will come. Pa plus the sh becomes a. Because this is a sarvadhatuka pratyaya, shapa will come. Pa plus shapa plus a. Pa plus a plus a. Pa becomes piba. Full bakara, complete bakara is there. It's not pib, it's piba. Kimartham? If you do a pib, then it will cause an upadha guna. Shap might cause sarvadhatuka ardha, sorry, puganta laghu padasya might cause upadha guna. There are ways to, to get rid of it by angavritta or avidhi and so on. Will not go in the details. Simple solution is to have a b as a full bakara over there. So you have p b plus a ato gune two times. So a plus a is a plus a is a. Piba iti antimam rupam siddhyati. The important part is pa becoming piba. That's the Pagradhma sutra which we saw earlier. Incidentally, the same sutra gets used for jigratiti jigraha, dhamatiti dhamaha, pashyatiti pashyaha. So pagradhma and drusha sarvatra a seva sutra, identical prakriya will be there in most of the cases. Ato gune will not be two times because jigra you can take it halanta. There is no prasakti of the upadha guna over there. So dhama you can take it halanta, whatever. And dhet, there is no vishesha prakriya. Dhet, a will become a ya by ho ya vayavaha, the normal prakriya will happen. So that's the first sutra, pagradma dhet drushashaha. The next one was anupasarga limpa vinda. So let's take an example of limpa. Similarly, vinda will be there. So lipa upadehe tudadihi iti tudadi ganasya dhatuhu. Sh, this is not the vikarna pratyaya. This is the krut pratyaya sh by anupasarga limpa vinda. Sh becomes a, another sh comes. This another sh is the vikarna pratyaya. Look at the beauty. You have a sh which is a krut pratyaya and another sh which is a vikarna pratyaya. So sh lipa plus sh plus a. The shakara goes away. At this particular point in time, shemuchadinam will cause a numagama. So shemuchadinam ittenena muchadi ganaha. Let's look at the dhatu bhata. Let's see if you have a muchadi gana over here. God knows. Here is a muchadi gana. This is a muchadi gana from the sixth gana, from the tudadi gana. Mucha, lupa, lipa. This dhatu is there, and a bunch more dhatus is there. Dhatus are there. So for this muchadi gana, what happens is sha pratyaye pare num iti agamaha bhavati. So for lipa dhatu, you have it is in the muchadi gana. So num agama will come with the chontyat paraha, and then varnamelanam and so on will happen. Its samnya removal will happen. Limpa iti rupam siddhyati. Pa plus a ato gune will become will give pa. Na will go up as anuswara, will come back as ma minus shapadanta se jali anuswara se ye parasavarna. Limpati iti limpaha. Similarly, vindati iti vindaha. You have vinda dhatu. Yeah, vida. Sorry, was this in the here? Vidalabhe, sixth one. Same shame Muchadin. I'm like, was there in the Muchadi Gana? I forgot to see it. There should be wind also. There are like 8 dhatus. I think wind should also be there. Let's take a look at the prakriya. She Muchadinam. So you can see the nakara coming because of She Muchadinam. There are 8 dhatus in the Muchadigan. I think the filter doesn't give one. I'll add it later on. So same prakriya will happen for vinda dhatu also. You have vida muchadigane asti ataha she muchadinam itunamagamah vinda iti antimam rupam siddhyati. So that's anupasargat limpa vind. For these two dhatus, you have this prakriya. So remember, the previous one was pagradhma dhet drushashaha. Dhet, nothing new is there, so I didn't write the prakriya. Pagradhma and drusha was the previous one. This is anupasargat limpa vinda. On the next slide, there is dhari pari vedyu deji and so on. So I have given an example of dharayati, vedi, udeji, cheti, sati, sahi. Everything is there. The important part to understand is there is a nicha pratyay, which is a swarthika pratyay, and a sh comes on the top of it. So dhru plus nicha plus sh. Dhru plus nicha will become dhari plus a. So that's the sh pratyaya. Shap has not yet come. First you have a sarthika nicha, and then there is a sh krut pratyay on the top of it. And now the shap will come later on in the Gana Vikarana Prakriya step. So dhari plus shap plus a, dhari plus a plus a, e becomes a by sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho, echo yavayavaha, and so on. Dharaya iti antimam rupam siddhyati. Please remember, nera niti is not to be brought in the picture over here. Nera niti iti ardhadhatuka pratyasya vishaya asti, sarvadhatuka pratyasya vishaya nasti. So I've seen people making this mistake mainly because some point in time we forget that this is a sarvadhatuka pratyaya. So sarvadhatuka pratyaya. So in general, aniyar and so on, if you try working with these pratyas or ka or na, all these are ardhadhatuka, so nera niti will jump in over there, not for sure. sh is sarvadhatuka pratyaya. Nera niti iti ardhadhatuke is an adhikara in which nera niti comes in. This one I think 6446. This is the ardhadhatuke adhikara. So don't miss the nera niti, which means that nich is not going anywhere. Nich will still remain that nich. So this first is shapa. That causes this nich e to become a, eventually giving dharaya as the final form. So that's basically completes two sutras. Observe this. Pagradhmadet Drushashaha was the previous slide, the first one. Anupasargat Limpavinda was the second one. Dhari Pari Vedyudeji Cheti Sati Sahibhyasha. This is the third one. The fourth slide and the final slide is Dadati Dadhatyoho Vibhasha. We'll look at this sutra and then we'll prakriya and then we'll stop. So Dadati Dadhatyoho Vibhasha. Dha iti udaharanam. Da will become the same. So dha plus sh. Sh will become a. Shapa will come because of kartari shapa. Shapa will become undergo a shlu. Juhotyadibhya shluhu iti shap ityasya shluhu bhavati. Dha plus a. Shlauhu iti dvitvam. Remember, we studied there are 5 situations where dvitvam happens. Shlau is one of them. Shlu is one of them. So dvitvam dha dha. We have studied a little bit of abhyasa karya. Rhasvaha ityanena dha ityasya dha iti bhavati. Tadanantaram shnabhyastayorataha. Those of you who have studied the Sarvadhatuka Khanda know this sutram. Shnabhyastayorataha iti sutrena akarasya lopaha bhavati. In this context, what is the meaning? Yada dvitvam bhavati. When you do the dvitvam, the first one is called abhyasa, and the second, the both of them are called abhyasta. So both of them are called abhyasta, ubhe abhyastam, and the first one is called abhyasa. So yada dvitvam bhavati, tada dvayoho api avayavayoho abhyastam iti samnya vidhiyate. यदि एतत् अभ्यस्तम आकारांतम अस्ति तर्हि सार्वधातुके ङित् प्रत्यये परे तस्य लोपः भवति. Lots of things happening over here. First is that both of these are being called abhyasta. Both of these abhyastas are akaranta. But the second abhyasta, that akara is immediately followed by the a pratyaya, which is actually sh. So understand, this sh is this a trickles down over here, this and this because shap is gone in between. So you have this and then this so you have da, so dha plus a. So even though both of them are abhyasta, only the second abhyasta has an akara which is immediately followed by a, And how is this a? It is a sarvadhatuka apit pratyaya. By sarvadhatukam apita ayam pratyaya ngitvad bhavati. So we can call it sarvadhatuka ngit pratyaya. Sarvadhatuke ngit pratyaye akarasya lopaha bhavati. So this a will be removed. This a is already gone because of rasva, rasvaha. This a will be removed by shnabhyastayorataha. And so this, the first a has become a because of rasva. The second a is gone because there is an a in front, which is basically sarvadhatukaha apit pratyaya. So dha plus a, then dha becomes the by abhyase charcha. Dadha dadhati iti dadha iti rupam evameva dadati iti dadaha iti rupam. So basically 4 slides, all the sutras have been covered. This last one, dadati dadhatyor vibhasha, identical prakriya. For dadati, you will not have this abhyase charcha because the is already there. So in abhyase charcha, it was required. In this particular dadhati, it was required because the was to be converted to the. But for dadati dadaha, you won't need abhyase charcha. The rest of the prakriya will be same. So that's it. This completes the sha pratyaya. The usual links are all over here. Let's go to the exercise for today. But before that, let's take a quick look at the set. So we finished Rvul, Trucha, Lyu, Rinini, Acha, Ka, Sha. Today we finished Sha and then we finish Ana. What will happen in tomorrow's class is all the rest of these sutras. So Shilpinishvun, Gasthakan, Anyutta, Hashavrihi Kalayoho, Prasulvasamabhyarevun, and Ashishicha. All these sutras till 3.1 and then 3.1 ends over there. Prathama Padasya Trantaha Samapyate. And then there are 2 sutras from 3.3 which are completely placed in isolation over there, but they should be here. So I'll teach them along with the current one, because when we divide this whole Krudanta Prakran into 12 sheets, these 2 sutras fit in this particular context than anywhere else. So tadanantaram padaraja vishasprushoghai surasthire. So these 2 sutras, so all these we should be able to cover in tomorrow's class. Shvastana varge etesham sarvesham adhyanam krutva krudanta prakranena vuladinam adhyanam samapayamaha. So let's take a look at the exercises. Kartrarthesha pratyaya रूपाणि ससूत्रं साधयत. So विंद गोविंद धय व्याघ्र उत्पश्य एतेषां सर्वेषां रूपाणां सिद्धिः लेखनीया इति प्रथमः प्रश्नः. अपि च द्वितीयः प्रश्नः नानुबन्धकृतमसारूप्यम् 8th परिभाषा इत्यस्याः परिभाषायाः सोदाहरणम् अर्थं लिखित्वा अस्याः ज्ञापकरूपेण ददाति दधात्योः विभाषा इति सूत्रं कथं स्वीक्रियते तत् व्याख्यानानाम् आधारेण स्वभाषया स्पष्टीकुरुत. So I sincerely request those of you who are interested in the Shastra to please give a try at this second sutram. The first is Prakriya oriented and the second one is Shastra oriented. So very balanced homework today. So Samapayamaha. We are finishing a few minutes before time. Shvastana varge asminneva samaye punaha मिलामः. यथा उक्तं श्वस्तन वर्गे अन्येषाम् अवशिष्टानां सूत्राणाम् अध्ययनं कृत्वा अणुवुलादीनाम् अध्ययनं समापयिष्यामः. अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानाम् उपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. शब्द ब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान्यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. धन्यवादः.